Hello everyone and welcome back to Arcade Spirits. If you're just stumbling across this game and don't want to be spoiled or want to play the game yourself, I'll have a link to buy the game in the description. If you want to watch the LP from the beginning, I have a playlist. I don't know how else to start. We're just gonna jump in. If you see these options and wanted to see them, you're just gonna have to maybe play the game yourself. Let's go. I'm ready to leave. No sense in putting it off any longer. I talked to everyone that I wanted to. I gathered as much information as I could. I'm just delaying the inevitable at this point. It's time to do this. For the sake of my future, my dreams, my friends' dreams, and Arcade Spirits itself. I take Teo's hand in mine as a soft smile curls my lips. We're ready to depart and face our destiny together. Should have probably ended that episode there, but I was like, I don't know. It's a short trip across town, and before we know it, we're standing outside Ghost Monsters HQ, a rundown warehouse in the bad side of town. A wooden sign long since fallen off the side of the building identifies it as belonging to Nostalgia Commodities Inc. This place isn't too bad. Just add a few dollies, some curtains, and maybe a couple of rose bushes out front. Then we can host a myriad of tea parties here. I don't know why they wouldn't keep up on the upkeep. Can you think of a better place for a street gang to lay low? Odds are Deco owns this building anyway. Correct. Nostalgia Commodities Inc. is a wholly owned subsidiary of Deco Palace LLC. Yeesh, that adds another step to this dance routine. I can't imagine Sue could easily give up her turf, especially when the rent is free. But don't falter, my love. I'm here. I'm cheering you on. As the leader, I'll let you take charge. But if I notice an inn, I got your back. Let's not waste any more time. I sigh once, looking over at my companion. I'm sure glad I'm not going at this alone. I'm still in crutches, just so everyone knows. I have a injured leg. I'm nervous for sure, but I know what I have to do. If we have to get the hell out of there, I think we've established that Teo can probably carry me out. I settle down on my crutches, armpits resting on the padding, as I prepare to enter the belly of the beast.
Hey! Listen!
Iris, kind of about to be in the middle of something here. I know, and I've spontaneously reprogrammed myself to include a new measurable metric which should be useful for your mission. I call it the incredibly right indicator of success. Or IRIS for short. Hey, when you have a great acumen already, you may as well use it. I'm going to start analyzing Sue's vocal patterns once you step in there to determine how close you are to convincing her. That way you'll know if you're on the right track or if you need to try something different. Let's take a look at your current score. Currently you have 0.0 chance of success. Yay? Well, okay, that's probably a bit disheartening, but think of it like, if I walked away right now, I'd fail miserably, instead of I'm doomed, doomed, doomed. But speaking of doom, well, since there is a chance you can actually fail this time, rather than sure you can mumble your way through the problem, would you like me to back up your data first? Yeah? You are now ready to proceed. Good luck. Taking a deep breath, I thumb swing my way into the warehouse on my crutches, with my companion beside me. Whoa. I don't know what I expected to find on entering the lair of a notorious gang of cybercriminals, but a makeshift arcade that revels my own was not high on the list. If this is a dumping ground of a warehouse for Deco's industry, it makes sense though. A place where old arcade games go to die, turned into a playland for punks. A disorganized mess of games littered the ground floor, poorly lit and barely functional. Only some of the screens are on, and many have serious ghosting and burn-in. Oh, they made it into a maze. As for the ghost monsters themselves, the good news is they haven't noticed our arrival. As I look up, I can see them on the second floor in the catwalks. Huh. They seem distracted. That's good news. The bad news? They're distracted because they have a visitor.
Unfortunate.
How unfortunate, I have to say, Sue. I'm extremely disappointed in you. It's hard to get a good angle from down here, hidden in the shadows, but it sounds like the old man's ranting at his daughter in his usual passive-aggressive way. I could stay hidden and eavesdrop on the conversation and gather some more information, or I could announce myself and barge in on them. Both are risky. But which makes the most sense for how I'm going to handle the negotiations we're about to have, though? We're gonna eavesdrop and learn more. I motion for Teo to stay quiet as we lurk in the shadows below the catwalks above. You should be out there doing what you agreed to do, not hiding away in your clubhouse, a clubhouse I pay the rent for, I should add. You want to keep your little playground, yes? Hard for me to do if some competitor raises to hurt my bottom line.
Pay attention!
Look at me when I'm talking to you, Sue. I'm trying to explain how the world works. Pay attention. Yes, Dad. It's hard to tell from the angle, but I swear she said that through gritted chi. There's a certain forced tone to it as well.
Am I not generous?
I don't ask for much, I feel. I look the other way when you and your friends cause trouble, I bail you out of jail, I let you skip school as often as you want. All told, I feel like I've been a lenient father who understands and appreciates his daughter's inclinations. Like you know the first hecking thing about me. What was that? Speak up, I can't hear you. And don't look to your little friends, look at me. Reluctantly, Sue eyes meet with her father's. Yes, Dad, I'm sorry, Dad.
You understand, yeah?
All I want for you is so very, very little. It's what you'd be doing anyway, really. Go back there and keep causing trouble for arcade spirits. Or do you really want me to pull back all my support of your little gang? Leave you twisting in the wind at the mercy of Cybercrime Task Force? Of course not, Dad. I'm sorry, Dad. I think I'm starting to understand the situation. She's under his thumb, and not by choice, and she hates it. Good, now then, why haven't you finished your job? Oh, come on, I almost heckin' died thanks to invading lovely chainsaw turf. If we go back there... I'm hearing excuses, Sue. I thought you were made of stronger stuff than that. Some delinquents are chasing you away. Really? Excuse me? She had a gun! How are you going to eventually inherit my empire if you can't stand up to some school brats? They had a gun! Like I want your damn empire.
Pay attention!
Speak up, I said. Quit looking at the floor. And we lock eyes through the metal grate flooring she's standing on. Shit, hi girl! Hey! We're not gonna say anything. Her hands go to her hips in an overly confident fashion as she bends over, like a child finding a lucky penny on the sidewalk. Well, 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 what do you know? Crap, she spotted us. Inky, Blinky, we have guests. She snaps her fingers, a sudden aura of command about her as she's distracted from the verbal beatdown by her father, and goons swarm flanking us. We're quickly hustled up the stairs, well, as quickly as I can manage on crutches. Now the time to use this moment to my advantage, and I know just what to say. Deco, buddy, long time no see! It's been, what, hours? Interesting catching you here consorting with criminals, or it's an odd welcome mat, but I'll take it. Or your reckoning's at hand, Mr. Nami. It's an odd welcome mat, but I'll take it. Sue, Deco, good to see you. Apologies for barging in at this late hour, but you're a little difficult to track down, I found. Deco's face twists into a grotesque blend of anger and fear. What in the hell? I can't be seen here. If any record ends up online. Jeez, Dad, relax, relax, Clyde. On cue, Clyde steps out from the shadows, their fingers dancing over the phone as they concentrate on the screen. Both of them have phones. One has an Iris Assistant loaded. We're blocking their outgoing data streams. There should be no verifiable data evidence of this conversation uploaded anywhere. I can't stop Antonio's iris from hearing you, but I can hijack his account if you need me to, so we can manually wipe her memory. Just say the word. We'll see. Thanks, Clyde. Clyde nods in agreement, backing out of the spotlight. Happy now, Dad? You're clear. Quit freaking out.
As you like.
Not that it matters. My business with this Mr. Reeves is already concluded. I gave you a chance to escape your crumbling little arcade and you turned me down. If you have no vision, I have nothing further to say to you. Actually, we're not here to talk to you. I came here tonight to have a chat with... Wait for it. Your daughter. Timing is everything. How did you...
Well. You're a resourceful one.
I try.
A squeaky clean arcade industry titan can't let anyone know about his hooligan daughter, can he? No. So I've had to keep that under wraps. Good work sleuthing it out. I was hoping I'd see you again. You run a great arcade. You treat me and my friends with respect. And you take a bullet from me? Class. That's a class operation there. I can be totes honest with you when I say I didn't want to ruin your arcade. It rocks! All that snazzy neon, all those great games, all that fun. I didn't want to trash your big moment, but... well...
Your dad is an asshole! She casts a sidelong glance at her father. Yeah, I know, he's an asshole.
Didn't exactly have a choice, did I?
No, you didn't. I didn't want to come back and cause you more trouble after that, so I stayed away. Figured I'd done what I had to do, and could leave it at that. But you didn't finish the job. Arcade spirit still stands. Not that it matters, I suppose, nor does this little last-ditch effort to save it. I see your game, Mr. Reeves. It's as obvious as the sad little strategic moves you've made so far to keep your arcades afloat. Sadly, nothing you say or do will save arcade spirits from my inevitable takeover. This is simply how the industry works. Now, Sue, it's time to finish what you started. Sue shifts her attention from her father back to me. It's hard to read what she's thinking, but I have to think of something to calm the tension. I step forward, my fists clenched ready. But before words escape me, someone is by my side. Whoa, slow down there, tough guy. You being here is totally crapping your daughter's style. Right, Sue. We need to liven this party up. Let's bring in some music, a catered buffet, drinks, and maybe kick your dad out.
Seriously?
Yes.
If you think you could come here and convince my daughter to turn on me, you're sorely mistaken.
It wouldn't be hard because you're such an asshole, even to your daughter.
Sue knows I'm the only thing standing between her and numerous jail sentences. My power, my money, my presence. She knows I'm the one she can rely on at all times.
Oh, Sue.
Without me, what is she? Just a simple thief with simple friends.
The ghost monsters exchange glances with each other, frowning and rolling their eyes, but they don't utter a word or move against Deco. They clearly want to pounce but hold themselves back.
But I understand and support her. I appreciate her nefarious
You
talents
use
and
her.
nurture them. Oh, and I also put a roof over her head, feed her, and clothe her. I spare no expense. In other words, she knows that I made her, and I can unmake her at a moment's notice.
Oh, he's such an asshole. I hate him.
After all, Father knows best. Father knows all. And in the world of arcades, Dekonami knows and controls all. You can't stop that. You can't fight it. And you can't win.
You're monologuing.
Sue, if you would kindly show our friend the exit, as forcefully as you like, perhaps make a game of it. See if your buddies can wreck the other leg.
Excuse me? Seriously? Vindictive much? Do it. Ugh, fine. Inky, Pinky, bounce them both. With a flick of the wrist, Sue gestures for her buddies to make us into street pizza. This is it. This is the moment. I need to say something that will convince Sue to do the impossible, to flip on her control freak father. And it has to be something absolutely true to my core, to who I've become as a person. It's time for Antonio Reeves to pull one more rabbit out of the hat. Yeah, I'm like, it's really when... You're stronger than him, Sue. You don't need Deco, he needs you. And I can help you see that. That's literally all we have. I'll read the other options for you. Okay, we have the charming option. Come on, where's the fun in that? I came to battle and I challenge you to a pizza bagel eating contest. No, I don't want to see another pizza bagel in my life. We have the bold option. You call yourself a gamer? Prove it. This calls for a one-on-one video game showdown. I guess that was the rebel option too. The steady option. That's your strategy. Toss this out. Surely you can come up with something more clever than that. Which would have been like the option I would have picked, honestly. But we have the kindly option, so you're stronger than him, Sue. This feels wrong, Sue. I'm not talking about kicking us out or kicking us around. I'm talking about you taking orders from him. Sue, through our recent interactions, I've come to know you and your heart. You love arcades, but you're working for someone who loathes them while doing his dirty laundry. If you'll hear me out, I know I can help you see that too. You're stronger than Deco. You don't need him, he needs you. But if you'd rather mash us into paste, well. I stand on one foot, arms wide to make it a bit easier for her. Do as you wish. Are you quite done babbling yet?
A foolish fool.
Get this over with, Sue. I'm done dealing with this fool. And yet, Sue's holding up a hand to stop the two goons she was about to sick on us. What are you waiting for, young lady? I said to get rid of them. It's just babbling, right? So who cares? Specifically, why do you care, Dad? You afraid Antonio will say something you don't want your dear daughter to hear?
I run the show, not you.
Well, I want to hear this out, and if you don't want to hear it, nobody's keeping you here, old man. What? Shh, the adults are talking. Deco visibly seethes, but Sue's clearly taken the floor. Deco crosses his arms in defiance, but opts to let his daughter continue. Okay, Antonio. Okay. You've got a temporary reprieve from my boys making you into a Picasso. Say what you came to say, but if I'm not like super duper incredibly totally swayed by your amazing charisma, you're out the door, or possibly the window. This is it, my chance to convince Sue. I have to do this, and it's not just me. I have Teo beside me, lifting me up. I look over at my love, my heart, and I smile. Deep breaths, count to 10, refocus myself. I slow my racing pulse, bringing this down to something more heartfelt, more personal. I have to connect with Sue, empathize with her. This isn't about being convincing. I need to befriend her, and lay bare the emotional truths in her heart. I glance at my iris on my phone screen, who simply shrugs. We're entering far more subtle territory. I can't rely on her to tell me what responses may or may not work. It's time to be the best I can be on my own. You have 4 more attempts to sway Sue remaining. Great! Appeal to her love of arcades, invoke the power of friendship, remind her she was almost killed at Deco, invite her back to the arcade, offer a place to stay if Deco kicks her out. There you go. So, let me be clear about this. The reason you won't side with me over your father is you're worried he'll burn you, kick you out of his home, abandon you on the street. Let's put aside the question of whether holding such a threat over your head indicates a loving father or not. I mean, it doesn't, but... If what you need is a place to stay to avoid being homeless, I'll offer my home. Wait, seriously?
Bad idea, friend.
I
Bad idea.
wrecked your arcade, and now you offer me 3 hots and a cot? I'm generous like that. Huh. Well, she can stay with me, if it comes to that. Clyde, seriously? I want to put you out. My parents like you. I like you. And they'd understand your situation. Please, don't feel like you have no options. You've got your friends. You've got me. Just think about it, okay? Please? I wouldn't actually drive her from my home.
You understand.
That was just
Yes.
a figure of speech. I'm saying that I'm her provider. I'm the reason she's able to. Nah, I'm pretty sure you meant what you said. You've threatened me with all the dire consequences of disobedience more times than I can count, and I'm getting sick of it. So don't think you can hold that over my head any longer.
Think about this.
This would be a mistake, Sue. Think about more than what roof you happen to be sleeping under. I can protect you in ways you cannot provide for yourself. Beyond food and clothing and a place to stay. Legal protection, notably. I keep you off various radars and make sure my enemies aren't aware you exist. You're safe under my wing. Oh, definitely. But maybe I just don't care anymore. Maybe I'd rather flame out than put up with your heck. Yeah, there you go. Sounds like she's starting to see through his supposed generosity. Good. You have 3 more attempts to sway Sue remaining. I can invite her back to the arcade, like, yeah. Hey Sue, you like arcade spirits, right? I offered you a second chance before. It still stands. I'd welcome you and your friends returning to enjoying our games. It's not like you wanted to hurt us. If you agree to stop pushing Deco's agenda by messing with arcade spirits, you can swing anytime you like. I'll even comp you some tokens. Sound good? Absolutely. Except for, you know, the small problem of the lovely chainsaw laying in wait to finish the job and put me in the dirt. Afraid that a couple of bucks in tokens wouldn't go real far in paying for my funeral. I appreciate the offer and all, but honestly, if I wanted to come back, I'd come back band or not. There's bigger things to play than what I want, though. But she raises a hand, shutting me down. Done talking about this, we're done. Shit. Well, we didn't go down. Honestly, I thought that'd work, but she shut me down so fast, I doubt she'd want to push any harder. Want me to push and unload the power of friendship? Remind her she was almost killed for Deco. You know what? Whatever. I think there's a pretty simple indicator of how much Deco cares about you, Sue. He nearly got you killed. He didn't know what the lovely chainsaw territory when he asked us to go to the arcade spirits. Did you tell him? Of course. And how did he react? He didn't care.
I don't follow.
Why should I? Some pathetic little gang of campfire scouts pretending to be immense to society? They're nothing. They had a gun! I'd like to think my daughter and her friends are clever enough, strong enough to overcome such nonsense. Except they nearly killed her. That giggling gathering of girls proved a bit more dangerous than you thought they'd be, Deco. No doubt the shooter would have peed her pants in fear before getting the nerve to pull the trigger if you hadn't startled her. Making some assumptions there, Deco. For all you know, they're psychopaths to the core, and now you're pushing for her to go back into their turf. A hard lesson, but one she must learn. If Sue can't learn to raise to such mediocre challenges, she won't be ready to inherit my empire.
You understand.
Am
Yeah.
I a harsh tutor? Perhaps, but I know Sue will be stronger for facing her fears, worthy of the challenge to come to running Deco's palace. Oh my god. Sue, do you want to own Deco's palace? Is that your future? And how do you feel about facing the lovely chainsaws again, Sue? Or what kind of father puts his daughter in harm's way for his own gain? Sue, do you want to own Deco's palace? Is that your future? Sue Nami, owner of Deco Palace. That feels weird when I say it. But let's hear her thoughts. Sue, do you want your father's empire? Well, he's mega rich, and I'd get all his power when he croaks. Yes, aside from all that. That's a lot of all of that to brush aside, you know. I could do a lot with the resources he's got. And you'd have to run a series of arcades that you actually hate. Casinos with no love of the kind of games you've hoarded here. Well, Sue, you need to find your own spotlight. Take it from me. For the longest time, I was content with pushing others into the spotlight, letting them shine. It felt great to support them, and I still believe it was right. But there eventually comes a moment when you need to stop being a backup dancer and start dancing for yourself.
Care to dance?
Or do you want to dance to the tune of Deco's Palace for the rest of your life? You know what? Heck Deco's Palace, I don't need it. Not even the money. I'm my own woman. What? Teo's able to help others find their spotlight while taking his own. He's come a long way. I have one more attempt! Fucking invoke the power of friendship? Invoke the power of friendship? There's something I've been paying close attention to as we spar back and forth like this. The ghost monsters. They're trying to be unreadable, just part of the background noise of the scene, but I can read them. Clyde especially is looking like they're holding back a lot of feelings. So, do you think that without Deco you'd be alone? What about them? I gestured to the three supremely buff dudes and the nervous-looking individual accompanying them, all in their color-coordinated clothes. I think you're forgetting the ghost monsters. They're more than a gang. They're your friends. They'll support you if Deco won't. And if he tries to burn you, they'll stand in front of the flames. You've got the power of friendship on your side, whereas your father doesn't have a friend in the world and needs to rely on you. What? This smattering of thugs and children. You think they can keep her out of jail? You think they can feed her or clothe her? Laughable. I mean, one of them just offered their home, so like, I'd do that. I don't care if it takes my whole allowance or I have to go get a real job. I'd help her I'd help her if you won't. Clyde, this isn't... No, Sue, please listen to me. I don't like speaking up. And your dad, he scares me. But Antonio's right. We're your friends, and we'll be here for you, right? Heck yeah! Ghost monsters, ride or die! 20th century television sitcoms teach us that a group of self-chosen friends are the new family structure of America, according to many critical studies. So, please, don't feel you'd be alone. If you choose to side with Antonio, you won't be. Clyde shifts nervously, averting his eyes to the ground, shifting their feet. It's like they want to say something, but can't find the courage within. God, they're precious. Oh, this is ridiculous. Sue, friendship is irrelevant. What matters is power, and your friends have none. Do you really want to trade a powerful ally for a weaker one? As much as I hate to give in to really silly cartoon notion of friendship conquering all, well, I'm a ghost monster.
Ghost monsters for life!
Ride or die, we are ghost monsters for life. Sue and Clyde exchange a fist bump before Clyde steps back to join their friends. Absurd. Simply absurd. Before I can get in another word, Sue waves her hands, interrupting me. Okay. Enough.
Man, this sucks.
I'm sick of all this talking. It's time for action. It's time for decisions. You've made your case, Dad, and so have you, Antonio. He wants to protect me and use me. It's patently obvious at this point. But maybe the cost of turning my back on him is too high. While Antonio wants me to throw it all away just because it's the right thing to do. As for me, what do I want? How do I want this to play out? Well, we'll find out next time! Thank you for joining me. If you don't want to miss that video, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you're interested in playing the game yourself, links in the description. Or if you want to watch the LP from the very beginning, I have an Arcade Spirits playlist. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. And thank you to this month's patrons. If you're interested in becoming a patron, check out my Patreon. Links are in the description. Hopefully I'll see you there.